Hi, I'm Jeff E. Reed,
And I'm Keddy the Kedman Blumenthal.
and you're watching Unity Gain.
Well, everybody, we're glad you're here tonight. Tonight is an episode of Long Play Review where we review a really great album. And tonight we're going to review the album Lightning Bolt by Pearl Jam. Long Play Review. My friend Calvin bought me this for my birthday this week, and I love this album. I've been listening to it for probably a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere in there. And it's a really, really great album. So last year, a little over a year ago, we went on our trip up to Washington on our Dead Rockstar tour.
Yeah.
And we went to the Mopop, which is a museum of pop culture in Seattle. And they had a Pearl Jam exhibit there. And
fantastic.
it was really good. And what made me hunt this album down was we were in that one room sitting on that couch, and we took a break kind of because you got a phone call, and there was a video on, and it was of them live, and Eddie Vedder was singing one of the songs off of here. It's the last song on the album, and I fell in love with it, and I hunted it down and found out it was on this album. And so I got the album on my phone, and this is such a good album, you guys. It is really a great album. I want to talk for a minute about the construction of the cover. You pick this up, you think it's a double album.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money put into the design of this record. I think it was 2013 when they did this. But it's a gatefold. It's got a picture of the band inside. Hopefully there's no glare on there. And the album cover on the front shows the lightning bolt. That's the title track, Lightning Bolt. But that's actually on the sleeve. On the backside, it's a white one. On the front one, it's a yellow one. And then there's a single album in there. And then in the back gate, you got a book. It's kind of a big book with all of the lyrics. And it's nice having the lyrics big, you know. You can read the lyrics.
Not like on a cassette tape.
Right. And then they also give you, and I'll probably take some of these off. I have this thing about when I get stuff, I like to leave it in its original condition.
Right.
But they give you this big sleeve, a double fold sleeve of stickers.
Stickers. That's nice.
And cool stickers. So I got a couple cases. I'll probably put some of these stickers on. But I thought the unique thing was on the back, every song has its own icon.
Yeah.
So like here's Lightning Bolt. Where's it at? Right here. Here's the Lightning Bolt song, and that's the icon for it. Here's Infallible, and the picture has something to do with what the song is about. I thought that was a really ingenious design, a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like what we do with our songs.
Yeah.
Every one of our songs have
yeah,
cover too.
with our thumbnails and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Pearl Jam, Lightning Bolt. So we just listened to this tonight, and it was quite impressive.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So I wish we could play the songs, you know. It'd be nice
Yeah.
if we could play the song, but copyright laws won't let you, and the videos will get taken down. So we just have to talk about them, but we'll explain the title and then what we liked about that song. And I really encourage you guys to listen to the album if you like good rock music like this, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
This is a great album. But first I want to start off and say who's in the band. So the album is Pearl Jam, or the band is Pearl Jam, and the album is Lightning Bolt. So Eddie Vedder, I think one of the greatest rock vocalists we have right now. Eddie Vedder on Vox and some guitar. Stone Gossard on guitar, but Mike McCready is the main guitar player. Jeff Ament, A-M-E-N-T, he's the bass player, and he actually does some production on this. I looked in the notes too. And then Matt Cameron, spectacular drummer, drums and percussion, and that's who's on this album. So So Jeff, what do you got for song 1?
Song 1 is Getaway. I wrote down a great guitar tone. And when the song starts out, not through the whole song, but when the song starts out, you can really hear the snares on the bottom of the snare drum. It's like they're rattling, like they're real loose. And it sounds really cool. I think that's pretty awesome. Interesting vocal melodies. And of course, you're going to find that all the way through Pearl Jam stuff. That's kind of their signature thing.
Yeah.
Simple but interesting guitar solo, which I thought was really good. And it's the kind of guitar solo I would have played like in some of our grungier music.
Yeah. Not a lot of fluff.
I thought the vocal kind of reminds me of Tom Jones.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Especially on the verses.
The tone of his voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's all I got on that one.
I put down on Getaway that snare at the beginning. It's a real driving, marching snare drum sound. Like you said, it's loose, but it's just driving and pushing. I really liked how the bass guitar follows the vocal melody on the verses.
Oh yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
He follows him, and it's really cool, and it's not in the way. That's what I like about it.
Yep.
Amazing mix, of course. Look at the album cover. There's a ton of money in this album, and this was a massive album hit for them. And the clean guitar on the chorus, I liked. It was a really nice, clean tone. But simple, tasteful guitar solo, and then in the end you hear the tambourine come in, which I thought was very cool. You know, you hear, I have all these percussion instruments, you know, these little shakers and stuff, and you think, this is stuff that you use in our level of musicianship, you know. But you listen, and there's a lot of shakers and auxiliary percussion like this that's used all the time. You don't think a former grunge/rock band is going to have a tambourine in it, but it does, and it fits. So yeah, that was what I thought was really cool about song 1. All right. So song 2 is called Mind Your Manners, and the beginning of the song with the drums and the guitar, I really like how the drums play, they play off each other kind of, but the drums really play off the guitar player rhythmically, and I thought that's pretty cool. In the intro of that. In the chorus, the harmonies are really great, and I think Eddie Vedder probably sings a lot of his own harmonies along with himself, because it just sounds so good when you sing with yourself like that, and he probably does that. And like we said earlier, they probably double everything. But the guitar solo to me was more rock than the first song. It was a little more hard rock, and then at the end of it, I like that. It's like the call and response thing between two vocal lines. And that's how the song ends. I thought that was pretty cool.
Again, the snare drum kind of jumps out at me. I thought it sounded great.
Yeah.
It's like the production of it is perfect. But it's a total punk rock song. And I thought it sounded a lot like the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And vocal melody and stuff. But didn't that one kind of mellow out during the chorus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And then it comes back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really great song.
Yeah. It is.
My Father's Son, amazing bass line. Just absolutely amazing. And I love all the, I don't know what you'd call them, they're just kind of dissonant notes that kind of remind me of like a James Bond sounding song.
In the background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the top of that bass line.
Yeah.
And of course, great vocal melody. Short. It's a short song.
Yeah, it's the
and
shortest
sweet.
one on the album, I think.
Yeah. But I liked it.
I put on here that I like how busy the bass line is in the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
It's very, very busy. And then maybe this is what you're mentioning. I heard it on verse 2. It was these guitar harmonics on verse 2 that fit right in there with the regular guitar. and you could just barely hear him in the background.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's what you were referring to or not.
I don't think so. These ones are out front, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, these were definitely harmonics that were really cool. And then the bridge, odd time signature on the drums. Plays an odd time signature.
Yeah.
And then the chorus, the guitar chords on the chorus, lift, bring it back down, lift. It kind of lifts the song and pushes it along. I thought that was really neat how it did that.
Yeah.
It's a short song, but it's a great song. All right, fourth song. It's called Sirens. Okay, I got a lot to say about this song. It is probably, I got 3 favorite songs on this album, and this is one of them. But this is up there to number 1. It's so good. The phaser on the acoustic guitar, it sounds like there's a phaser. But as I listened to it, it sounded like there's 2 guitars stereo panned hard left and hard right. And like they're 2 separate guitars, and it, almost like a stereo chorus effect. Like one might be just detuned a touch, and it creates that stereo chorus effect. Now that could be through processors, or they might have actually done it, or it could be phaser because there's a little bit of sweeping that goes through it, and it just sounds so good. I gotta say, Eddie's voice on this album, on this song, out of all the songs on this album, his voice on this song is perfect. This is so good. His falsetto he goes into on the chorus is so good. It's just, I don't even know the word to use it. But then it comes out of that, and then it goes into the rest of the song, and it's just exciting.
Yeah.
And it's a slow song, kind of. It's kind of a rock ballad. It would fit in that genre, probably. It's not a slow song. It's kind of got a rock element to it. But it is so beautiful. It is such a beautiful song. I'm still going. I got more. The chorus, the harmonies, kill me now. They're spectacular harmonies. And of course, again, it's probably him singing with himself, but I'm sure some other people are singing harmonies too. I'm sure, and they may even have some effects like we use for harmonic things.
Yeah.
The electric guitar does those sliding chords that are gorgeous. The drums are really simple. This is a song I could actually sit down and play probably exactly like this once I learned it. Unlike a lot of the stuff that Matt Chamberlain does, I can't. He's so good. But this song is not overplayed, and it's a very simply done drum part, which is really cool. Because you hear so much stuff on the previous songs, and you got this thing that just kind of eases you up for a little bit. It's not overplayed at all. He hits his hi-hat in there, it's a closed, and then it opens, and it's such a excellent sounding hi-hat. The lyrics, he uses lyrics. It's interesting how he phrases things. It makes me wonder if he had any church upbringing or anything at all.
Right.
Because he has lyrics that sound like scriptures. And I wrote it down as an example. The scripture I know is by the grace, grace by which I'm saved, is a scripture. He uses a scripture that says, by the grace by which we live our lives. But the way it comes off in the song, it almost sounds like it's a scripture. And I and it's not blasphemy or anything like that. I think it's just beautiful, the way it's written. And then I'd listen to this song, and this song makes me want our music to sound like this.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't say enough about this song. I think it's a perfect song. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. The one thing that jumped out at me was the big 80s sounding drums at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're not quite that bad, like over-processed.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that don't put any effects on drums anymore at all. They want them to sound real. And those drums kind of jump out at me. And it sounds great with the song.
Yeah.
I love the hard piano notes. Every once in a while, it seems like the rest of the song or everything else just drops out for a second just so we can go ba-ba.
And it's low.
Yeah, and hit that just perfect sounding piano. Great.
Yeah.
there was like a really sophisticated sounding like slide guitar or something.
Yeah.
Way back there in the. Yeah. I thought it was a vocal at first. Yeah, you mentioned that you thought it was a slide guitar. It kind of sounded like a vocal to me, but I think you're right. I thought it really sounded like Collective Soul.
Yeah.
Especially when he tries to sing that falsetto, and it's so Collective Soul.
Let me correct you. He doesn't try to sing it. He sings it and he nails it.
Yeah, it's great. The great harmonies, I put that in there too.
Yeah.
And he sings with himself. You can hear that. It sounds great. Everybody does it. I love the guitar with the heavy delay on it.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic song. And I put in my notes here, best song so far on this album. And this is the first time I've ever heard this album. First time I ever listened to a Pearl Jam album. So.
Yeah.
So the title track, Lightning Bolt. I put some notes down here. I always love palm mute guitar. In fact, the beginning of the song sounds a lot like one of our old songs.
It started playing.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. And at the same time, we looked at each other and we go, when the rain comes. One of our songs.
When the rain comes, I wanna be out of the house. Out in the yard with my arms stretched out, spinning round and round and round. When the rain comes, I wanna be out in the street, with no shoes up on my feet, standing on holy ground. Pour your spirit out on me, fill me up and set me.
I really love the synthesizers in there, and it doesn't sound like a song that would have synthesizers in it. So when you hear it, you're like, "Oh, is that a synth?" It is, So that was pretty cool. I really thought the song sounded like a lot like a Bruce Springsteen song towards the end, like the tag of the song. I really thought the chorus sounded like Juliet and the Licks. And Juliet and the Licks, they have a song called, or they have an album called Hot Kiss, and it's fantastic. Anyways,
I'm not familiar with that band.
Yeah, it really captures the sound that they have for a second, just during the chorus.
Yeah.
But great song, I loved it.
I put on here the second guitar single notes that match the melody, the vocal melody. And when he's singing the melody, there's a second guitar in there, and you can hear those single little notes matching his melody. I like that. That was pretty cool. Very punchy chorus. Very. This song has to me it was pretty obvious, some blues guitar riffs in it that were nicely placed. I don't think of this as a blues song, but they played some riffs in there that were kind of bluesy. And then in verse 2, that piano is beautiful on that. In verse 2, it just sits right in there perfectly. You mentioned the synths, and what that is, it's a synth and it has an effect on it. It's called portamento. So like when you hit a note, if you hit another note while you're pressing this one, that note slides. So if you go up the scale, like dun, it goes dun, and you go down, it's dun, and you can adjust how long that slide is. And so they have that. And that you get that sliding effect. It's really unique.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it fits, like you said. It doesn't sound like this kind of a song that would have that.
Yeah,
but it works really well. And then odd time signatures on the drums in the last verse, and Matt Chamberlain does that a lot. But very unique, and I felt like the melody da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's the melody through all the verses, and to me it feels like just a really long hook.
Yeah.
Of the whole song. It's a unique melody that sounds like it's the hook.
Yep.
And anyway, I thought that was really cool. The harder songs, the more up-tempo songs, this is my favorite song on this album. And I don't agree with you that it sounds like Bruce Springsteen.
At the end there?
I don't like Bruce Springsteen, and it's my favorite song, so I'm not going to agree with you.
I did. I did say boogie woogie.
Oh, there you go.
Guitar.
Yeah. Good. Okay. All right, on to the next one. All right, the next song it's the last song on side 1, and it's called Infallible. And you mentioned earlier how the snare drums sounded really loose on that other song.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing on this. The snare wires sound like they're very, very loose. But to me on this song, and it doesn't sound bad, but I think this song sounds extremely processed on the snare drum. The sound of the drum sounds extremely compressed and processed.
Yeah.
There's a droning synth that the chords alternate on the chorus, and it's really cool. It bounces back and forth, and it just kind of drones through the whole chorus. I guess droning is one note. I don't know if that's accurate, but this isn't one note, but it's got this consistent back and forth that stays through the whole chorus. And then on this one has that really low, distorted Rhodes electric piano note, which is really cool. That's on verse 3. And then the drummer, Matt, he rides on the chorus. He rides his crash cymbal to get that wash sound. Instead of ping, 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 ping on a ride, he gets that washy sound and he rides that crash. And then the guitar solo was very simple. It was just very simple, played 2 times through. Yeah. It's the same thing played twice. It was really, really simple, which we do a lot of, which I think is cool. I don't like when you put it all out there all at once. Yeah. You know, you got to save something for later, right? And then the song, how you got the intro, and then it grows, and you got this climactic center, and then it kind of ends how it started. It brings it back down again towards the end, and it's a good song.
You mentioned the processed drums, but that song has that weird rhythm. You know, it's just kind of do 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 do. You know, just the way it sounds. I think the processed drums actually add to the sound. Where
I don't think it sounds bad.
Yeah. I think the style of it. Required that sound.
It's a very driving song.
Very talented people who put this album together.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. The song doesn't sound like Pearl Jam, I don't think. You know? It sounds like it's totally a different album when it starts out to me.
Oh, at the beginning of it.
Yeah. But then it only proves that Eddie Vedder can sing anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. I've seen him sing with Tom Petty.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah. So good. I think he's got one of the best voices in rock music today.
I thought the chord progression was really Beatle-esque, and I love that. I love the Beatles, and I think this is my new favorite song by Pearl Jam.
Cool.
So the first song on side 2 is called Pendulum, and the one thing I liked about it, there's a whole bunch of stuff I liked about it, but I mentioned in my notes here that I love that lo-fi sounding instrument that starts the song out. Mm-hmm. But then when Eddie Vedder comes in singing, his voice is not lo-fi. So it's like this beautiful, crisp sounding vocal over the top of this lo-fi piano.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Yeah. Great guitar tone. Excellent song.
This one, the introduction has the Fender Rhodes again with the piano, and it's just slightly distorted, and it fits with it extremely well. But then there's this clean guitar that comes in that fits right into the mix perfectly with these keyboards, and then they introduce the tambourine.
Yeah.
And it just is so sweet the way it sounds. It's just really neat. This song is extremely ethereal sounding, very spacious and ethereal. You know?
Yeah.
The voice sounds like the effect on his voice, it sounds like the real ADT
Yeah.
plug-in like we use,
Yeah.
which is a great plug-in. And
He's probably using the real one though.
yeah, probably. But that's what it sounds like on the voice, something very similar to what we do. And then when it gets to the part where it goes the background vocals there's the acoustic guitar that just does a single strum, goes blum blum, and it does it again. It's not a strumming consistent guitar, it's just one strum. It's sometimes I think, why don't we do stuff like this? It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's simple ideas, but they are what make the songs stand out. These simple things, you know. The drum heads sound like the low tom heads. They sound like they're loose, you know. And I think that adds to the lo-fi sound you're talking about. They sound like they're not tight enough to put a real long tone out of them. They sound like they're kind of loose, which is a cool sound.
Yeah.
But that's what I got out of that one. Great song. I love these slower songs like that. I think they're really interesting to listen to. All right, this next song is called Swallowed Whole. I didn't write a whole lot except that I think this song live would be a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean it's a song that's at a level of most of the other songs. It's not really a stand above the rest of the song kind of song. It's an excellent song, don't get me wrong. It's not boring, it's nothing like that. It's just not a standout song like some of the other songs are. But I think it would be the middle of the concert when you're playing the crowd pleasers and the people are jumping and getting excited about the band and they're up there and they're saving their best for the other moments.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I mean by that. But I also feel that the bridge on this song, I feel like the way it mellows out with how the song's moving forward, I feel like the song loses its momentum a little bit. But then it comes back in again. But I just noticed that. It almost felt like, I don't want to say like the bottom fell out. It didn't. But it just felt like it slowed down and it lost its momentum. And that might be intended, you know, but I just noticed that that's how it felt when I listened to it.
Yeah.
That's what I've got on this one.
I thought it had a great acoustic sound, and when it first started, I was wondering if it was mic'd or if it was just plugged in. And if I had to guess, I'd say it was just plugged in because it was just too, I don't know, you couldn't hear the room or anything. It was just like really super tight, and it sounds great. I noticed this song has a big kick drum, a nice tone to it, kind of. You know, you could tell that if you were listening to it in a big system, that you could feel it, you know, and I like that. Then there was those shimmering, I don't know if they were guitars or synths or whatever, there was a shimmering in the background of the verses and stuff I really enjoyed. The guitar solo was unusual. I can't remember it being very melodic or pretty. It was just a bunch of notes, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I also thought this song sounded a lot like the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
So let the records play. I love the sound of a guitar amp in a room with a mic on it. And you can tell that's exactly what you got there at the beginning. Yeah. And of course, that bluesy sound, you know, that's my sound. I love blues guitar and stuff. I love the distortion on the vocal. Fantastic. It sounded so perfect because it was like the microphone was just barely driving. You know, it wasn't like a definite added distortion. It was almost like they just took the gain and cranked it up until it started distorting, and I like that too.
Yeah.
I love all the Hendrix style guitar playing. It's just a great song. However, I think this is a song that I would skip. just because I thought there's a part of the song that sounds like a toothpaste commercial or a armpit deodorant commercial or something. And I think it's just the melody. It goes from this cool, like, bluesy, almost like fairies wear boots type sound, like Ozzy Osbourne. But then all of a sudden it breaks into the toothpaste commercial. And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a good song.
What I got from this one, it's a very driving song right from the start. It's just really driving. It has a really cool dive bomb guitar in it, what I thought was really neat. The vocal harmonies do a really neat thing where, and again, I think it's just him singing with himself, where he sings this harmony with himself that's just kind of a dissonant note. It creates a little tension in the note, but it fits and it works. But it's very, very unique. And I thought that was really a neat touch. It's real subtle, but you can hear it. And there's hand claps in this song. And I've never really noticed that until I listened to it on my stereo tonight. There's hand claps in this song, which, okay, that's fine. When you say it out loud, like right now, it sounds like it would be out of place.
Yeah.
But it's not. It sounds fine. This song has very many different guitar sounds.
Yeah.
From a blues style to a boogie style to a rock to a twangy style. This song covered all of those guitar sounds, different sounds. And then on the breakdown of this, it brings it down, and for a moment you can hear the drummer playing his sticks on the rims. Click, 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 click. And the song sounds like ZZ Top in that moment, I thought. It sounded very Texas rock style for that moment. But when you think back and how the song's got a shuffle, da 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 da, when da 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 da, it's got a shuffle. That's why that works at the end of it, because of that style. So anyway, that's what I got on that.
Nice.
All right, this next one is called "Sleeping by Myself." Okay, I've got a lot to say about this song. I said I have 3 favorite songs. The other one was Lightning Bolt. This one, Sleeping by Myself, and then the very last one we'll talk about at the end here. But this has amazing acoustic guitar in it. And the harmonies in it are beautiful. When I listen to this in my car, when I listen to the album and it gets to this song, I don't finish the album because I just keep rewinding or going back, and I play this song 4 or 5 times before I go on. I just took a trip up to Washington a few weeks ago, and I drove up the Oregon coast all the way to Washington, 9.5 hours, and I listened to this song. I probably got this album, and I got to this song, I probably listened to it 8 or 9 times before I went on to listen to the rest of the song. It is such a wonderful song. So here's what I got. Amazing harmonies. The bass drum in this song, it starts from the very beginning. Boom, 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 boom. It is the metronome for this song. It's like a constant metronome, which that's what percussion and drums are for, keep the beat. But this one is very much the metronome feel of the song. I feel this song has a Beatle-esque feel to it. I think when it does the harmonies and stuff during the chorus, I think it has a bit of a Beatle-esque feel. Again, he sings harmony against himself, and the bridge in this song is perfect. It just fits where it needs to be, and it transitions perfectly into the bridge and then back out of the bridge to the rest of the song. And I think so far this is the most perfect song on the album. The background vocals, all the O's, and the vocals at the endings, he does this after the O, and he sings up to that note, da da da, da 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 da, and he goes back in, and he hangs you on that note, and it makes you. I didn't know how to say it earlier, but I'll say it again. It makes you want.
Yeah.
And this song is a. I'm gonna say it. It's a very yearning song. George, do you ever yearn? But he hits that note, and you're like, okay, I'm hanging there, and then he finishes it. It's just perfectly recorded, perfectly designed. It is such a great song, and then it's very minimal. There's not a lot of stuff in the background happening. It's a very simple song. It grows and other things happen, but it's not like the rock songs where you got all this activity going on in the background. So it's quite a simple song, and then it just leaves space to breathe and to grow. The song does.
So when I listened to this song, it was for the first time today. And of course, we were listening to the songs and taking notes, and so we'd have things to say about them. But this song, I just wanted to listen, you know. And I closed my eyes. I was sitting right here, and I just listened to the whole song, and I couldn't think of anything to write except for everything is perfect.
Yeah.
The song is a perfect song.
It is.
And it's fantastic. I can't wait to listen to it again.
It's so good. I'm telling you, man, this is not a rock song, this one. It's called Sleeping by Myself. It is not a rock song. This is a rock album, but this is not a rock song. If you don't like rock music, that's fine. But do yourself a favor, look up on Pearl Jam, the Lightning Bolt album, look up the song Sleeping by Myself, and just listen to the one song, and you'll understand what we're talking about. It is beautiful.
Fantastic.
Beautiful song.
So the next song is Yellow Moon, and all I wrote about this one is it was a pretty amazing song, and I said do yourself a favor and listen to this song.
This song,
not much of a review, but you know.
That's okay, I got your back.
Okay, good.
All right, this song is really cool because it alternates between 5/6 time and 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's got a swing to it, the way they do it.
Yeah.
I always describe to people what 6/8. It's like sitting on a swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and then they do the 5 in there as well. And the way they play it, they play some punches on that 5, and it helps it transition into that 6 part, which is really a neat, unique feel. Then there's this organ that plays in the back. It's really nice. You can hear it in the high pitch in the background. The bridge on this is exciting, and there's a really great crescendo and a build in the bridge, and then it just kind of grows. And then my last note on here I put was piano. It's got some great piano in it.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah, I like that. It's very cool. All right. I told you I have 3 favorites. It was Lightning Bolt, Sleeping by Myself, and this one. Last song on the album. It's called Future Days. This song stops me. When I'm listening to something or if I'm doing something, if this comes on, I will stop what I'm doing and listen to this song. It is an amazing song. It's a beautiful song. It's very simple. It's got a simple vocal line. The vocals are, he sounds very vulnerable in this song. And then there's this synth pad, which we talked earlier, that cathedral thing you're going to mention, that is so haunting, especially at the end. It's got a real haunting sound, but earlier in the song it's played with organ in there, and it's incredible. Violin, it fits with the acoustic guitar. It is beautiful in some of the transitions between verse and chorus. The bridge, the piano is huge, and it sounds incredible. But overall, beautiful, vulnerable, and haunting. This is another one you should listen to if you want. If you're going to listen to the other one, listen to this one too. That's what I got on that one.
When it starts out with that piano, captures you.
Yeah.
But then when the vocal comes in, he comes in with an acoustic guitar. And the first thing that popped into my brain was Cat Stevens.
Yeah. I hear it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Cat Stevens could have sang that part of the song.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that synth in the background. I have a reverb in my software called Cathedral. And I've always put it on stuff and it never does sound good to me, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think, where in the world am I going to use that? Because it is that. It's haunting.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's just gigantic. And when you hear it used in this folk song, basically,
Right.
with just a bunch of acoustic strings in front of it, like, yeah, that's where you would use it. It sounds great. It sounds amazing. So I'm going to go back and revisit some of those sounds that I have not been using. And I like the chorus. It kind of anthem sounding to me.
I get it.
Inspirational, and it's just great. The whole album is great, except for that toothpaste song.
Yeah. I can forgive you. I can forgive you for that. All right. Well, that is our review of Pearl Jam Lightning Bolt. This is an excellent album. I listen to this album over and over again when I hear it because it just grabs me. They don't sound like they used to in the early 90s when it was Pearl Jam and it was Alice in Chains and it was Nirvana. Mm-hmm. They have departed, at least on this album, from that sound. And it's just good rock music. And it's a spectacular album. And probably one of the best produced albums I've heard in a really long time.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So, there you go. All right.
I just want to thank you for watching, and if you like the show, go ahead and like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You'll never miss another episode.
Leave us a comment. We love them. We read them. You leave a comment, name in the hat. We take a drawing. You win coffee mugs, stickers, things like that. It's cool.
All right. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.
Don't forget to push record. See ya. I got a lot of notes on this one.
That's good because I don't have much.
Yearning. All right.
All right. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.
Don't forget to try it again. Jeff, do you yearn? Do you yearn?
Do I yearn? I mean, I think so.
Yeah, I yearn.